They're broken down and defeated, deterred, busy and confused, sleeping. You're dying while I wait you to get started on the journey chosen, wasted, now it's selected. I was so bad, what happened? Fall out of the sky and crush me in my smile. I was so bad, what happened? Fall out of the sky and crush me in my smile. Sober, sad and jaded. They're not coming, they're broken down and defeated. You are dying while I wait you to get started. You are dying while I wait you to get started. I was so bad, what happened? Fall out of the sky, yeah. Push me in my smile. I was so bad, what happened? Fall out of the sky and crush me in my smile.
I'm a motherfucking unicorn, a one-of-one. Divide being the love and light, then light and one. My karma is interstellar, I live by truth. Fighting evil, my scars are living proof. Protecting you from the storms with all my might. Love me, I will treat you right. You ever cross me, it's the last thing you'll ever do. With my crown of thorns, I'll wreck you. I ain't playing, yo, Bryan hard, call me a saint. Too bad Chris, because Bigfoot knows my name. I'm a messenger of God, with loyalty I serve, taking out all evil with his holy word. A true Knights Templar, sword in hand, slice you up, bury you in the sand. I'm a motherfucking unicorn, you'll never find anyone like me. Born in the Bronx, raised in NYC, so listen up, take heed. I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. A true Knights Templar, sword in hand, slice you up, bury you in the sand. I'm a motherfucking unicorn, you'll never find anyone like me. Born in the Bronx, raised in NYC, so listen up, take heed. I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Hello, welcome to Third Eye Live with host Mark Minnie and me, Bryan Bowden. I got a new microphone, so we're gonna have to have people in chat and see if it's a better microphone. People can hear me because there was an issue with that.
I don't think there's a problem.
I mean, it's interesting when you go through the system and then go live, and then you really have to have a monitor on the live end to see what's going on with it. But we got a lot of good people in chat right now. We got a great guest tonight. I'm really excited. Mark did an interview recently with our guest, which was fantastic. You should go check it out at Nightlight. I love that. Sounds like a soap opera. That's the one that with Barbara DeLong and Mark does his show on there too. But I'm really excited about the show. Just so you know, I got to promote it because I wouldn't be me if I wasn't. So on January 31st, I will be in Gardendale, Alabama at the Civic Center. I'm going to take down the comments for 2 seconds so that you can see it. It's the Vanished Paragon and Premiere, Gardendale Civic Center in Gardendale, Alabama. Tickets are available on our Eventbrite. It is pinned in the chat. And I'm going to be doing UFO sightings and mutilations. Fun for the whole family. It is viewer discretion for some of the younger kids. I don't want to scare the hell out of everybody, but we're going to be talking a couple different subjects that may get people a little unnerved as far as the UFOs. But it's a great conference. There's a ton of guests that are going to be there. These are the special guests that are there. Jessica Jones is going to be there. Jerry Millwood, a whole plethora before this movie is premiered, and this movie is going to blow you away.
Jessica is very informative.
Yes, Natalie Smearman is going to be there. Troy is going. Hudson, great guy. We're trying to get Troy on. There's just go get your tickets. It's $17. If you're a veteran, it's $5. Kids are free, and no, if you're, you shouldn't consider yourself a veteran even if you are married. Okay, so I'm just going to throw that out there. That's not fighting a war. Yep, the Vanishing premiere and Paragon. Go get your tickets. It's going to be fun. Tomorrow, Mark got me involved in this one. It used to be every other week, but every Thursday now, 9:30 to 10 p.m., I am on David Zublick's Awake Nation, and it's broadcast on X like we broadcast, and also Rumble. It's going to be a really good show. There's a lot of great guests on that show. And then it's David Zublick and Penny L.A. Shepherd, who she was on our show. She's the real 11 from Stranger Things, and she proved it. And as as Straw Dog and I said, I did not see that coming. That was a blowaway. People love that episode, and go check it out in our archives on YouTube. And then after that, Penny does a show from 12 to 1. It's called Agent X11, which is what she is. And it's a segment with Dr. Weepin Yu. These are physicists, and Steven Sanchez. And usually it has Brian Singh on there, otherwise known as Solar Bee. And they kidnapped me, Penny and Joan, the actual hosts. So come stop by and check it out again on X and Rumble, Agent X11 tomorrow. But I'm looking forward to all that stuff. Just so you know, we have a couple of special shows coming up. We do Wednesdays. You all know we do Wednesday nights from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's our window. Sometimes we go over, sometimes we go under. It is what it is. But we have people and fans and special guests that really want to get on the broadcast, but because of the time frame on the East Coast, I mean, Jen was being very, very accommodating for us. I didn't know how late it was in Newfoundland, but they're in their own time zone.
Newfie time.
But we have people in the UK and Europe We have people down under, from my Australian Labradoodle. He doesn't even bark. He goes, I reckon. That's all he says. I think he wants something. And they want to get on the show. So we're doing some things in a weird day. Our calendar is pretty booked, and sometimes we'll do special shows. So one of the special shows we have coming up is with Abby Dent out of the UK. The British are coming. Season 2, special guest 1, February 5th, 3 p.m. And I know people are working or they're doing something. Don't worry about it. You can catch it a little bit later. We have a special guest also on Monday, February 9th. Totally different show. Christopher Mason is going to be talking about Wicker Static and other things he's working on. Should be fun. And I finally got a good friend. He's like a brother from a different mother. But towards the end, I had to promote him. April 22nd, we're going to get Dave Scott here. So we have a whole plethora. Just go over to the YouTube channel, which is @ Bryan Bowden, one word with a Y. Like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, and then go to the live playlist, which I have there. This is where all Third Eye Live goes. But everything I do in the world of the paranormal is always on my page. I am not bringing up another page. I am not doing anything else to that. And I forgot to put it up. Mark Eddy's book is will be up there, and there'll be a link on our community. Please join the community, just like you join here in chat. You're gonna have a great time. So, Mark, how are you doing other than that?
I'm fine. Not really looking forward to a foot of snow, if that's what's going to be coming through the area on Sunday.
It's pretty damn scary what's going on right now.
Yeah. It's going to cause me to miss a concert that is kind of in the area, but hopefully that means it will be rescheduled during the summer when I don't have to worry about driving home at 1 o'clock in the morning in snow.
Right. In snow. I mean, the problem you're going to get the snow. There's a bulk. It's like heavy snow, significant snow. And then where I'm headed into the Alabama area, the corridor there, they're talking about like 6 inches of ice.
Oh, that's terrible. 6 inches that's going to knock over trees.
Yeah, power lines, internet cables. Yeah, so keep your fingers crossed, say a prayer and a blessing, because next week we have a great guy on, from Sasquatch Theory, Miguel. But after that, the following day, I'm headed out to this conference, and I'm concerned about like the weather we're going to get into. I'm a New Yorker, so I mean, I've driven in some crazy stuff, even in ice storms, but
this is bad.
This is good. This is going to be really bad. This is going to be something people are going to be like, remember that time? Did you see the 10 or 20 feet of snow in Russia? I'm not kidding. It literally was almost covering apartment buildings, and it was so high up that they were using the apartment buildings, going out the windows to sled and stuff. It's crazy. Not as crazy as the this paranormal field, but it's still crazy. So that's good. How's your friend behind you?
Spunky's doing fine.
Spunky's doing fine.
He's back there
reading the New York Times.
Some millet, listening to the show.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's really good. He just hears you talking, and he's like, he talks to himself. But we're not going to be talking to ourselves. We have a really, really great guest on this show, author, lecturer. He's more than just what we're going to be probably talking about today, and I know we're going to have him back. But this is from Mark connecting us, and Mark Eddy Productions. That's your man. Go that way, wherever you are, that way. He can get you some great guests for your shows. He does a great job. But shall we bring on the guest?
Yep.
Sure. Welcome to the Third Eye Live broadcast, Maximum.
Thank you, Sir Bryan and Mark. Good to see you again. I guess the last time that we were together was let me see, January
8 days ago.
Okay, I think it was the 13th.
Yep.
On Nightlight, and yeah, that was very good. So great to see you again, and yeah.
It's
great to meet you and another Floridian. So having some more cooler temperatures down here in Florida, but it's up north.
I mean, I went to get. I'm just going to share from Amazon right off the bat. All the links are in the description. By the way, these are Max's books on Amazon, and you can see. I mean, he has an amazing collection of books, different genres, a lot of music related stuff too. He's not just, a pretty face and talking about the schmirl hunting.
He's a rock journalist.
He is a rock journalist. So we're gonna kind of hold off on the rock journalism tonight for this show.
Okay.
Only because I definitely would love to get you back on the broadcast to talk about something different. We'll pull it out. And there's a little paranormal in the rock world too, by the way. Yeah. It's pretty interesting, but
well, my philosophy is this: everything is everything. I mean, when you look at the paranormal, it's part of the spiritual and part of the scientific. It's all the same. We just don't know the rules. So, there's a lot of knowledge that is lacking, that is missing. Scientists that aren't out there getting the evidence that we need because they're not believers. So, we're operating with that, but we still have enough researchers and true believers that are out there, doing what they need to do and, for the field. So,
I had a problem because I studied when I was going to school. At one point I was going for architecture.
Okay.
Although I should have been a doctor, but that's a totally different thing. So I was thinking architecture, but everybody thinks they're Frank Lloyd Wright or Ryan Pay, and they're going to build these, and there's no money. It's cookie cutter stuff. Half the stuff now, computer wise, you don't need an architect. Yeah. They can do a pretty good job in press of a button. So I always liked the sciences. So I was studying physics and also astronomy, and at one point in astrophysicist. I know the scientific method. I constantly use it to begin with. Am I a scientist? No. Are 99% of the people out there in this community that employ science in their investigation? No, they're not. And then I've come across people that, because they have PhDs or whatever, but they're using like AI to get answers, and you make it doesn't look good.
Mm-hmm.
Bryan, I think you'd be a excellent 21st century Mike Brady.
I don't want to be Mike Brady. No offense to it. I don't subscribe to his social styles. Ladies are way too
just
beautiful.
Architectural skills.
Yeah, thank you. The AI clips look beautiful. Thank you very much. No, I understand that, and I grew up on that show. But Rob's here, one of our Bigfoot Michigan Rob. I don't know if you've been on his BMR and Beyond.
No, I haven't. I'd like to. Yeah, reach out.
We have a lot of podcasts. I know you were on Michelle and Wayne's Michigan UFO and Paranormal Sightings podcast. I always play this. One day when we meet, just hit me in the head. That's that. Wayne and Michelle, just hit me in the head. I love you guys, but just hit me in the head. But I don't like when there are people lying, like they're calling them scientists and you're not. And then some of these people that they're calling scientists that are using AI or chat GBT, I call them the chat GBT PhDs, because
what we are, I think, predominantly, as you alluded to, we're citizen scientists. We don't have a background in physics and architecture and paleoanthropology in in any of that. So like when we're talking about the interdimensional theories or Einstein and Rosen's wormhole theory, I mean, a lot of us don't really have a really good comprehension about that. We have maybe like a very baseline understanding, but it's tough. But nonetheless, when you have people that are going out there looking for Bigfoot, they're giving us things. I mean, they're not giving us a body and DNA, but they're giving us eyewitnesses. They're giving us the sounds, the smell,
Exactly.
the wood structures, all of that. So I mean, they're and especially the footprints. And Jeff Meldrum was the one that really hammered that home. I mean, he was the one who collected these gigantic casts that were bigger than any man or bear could make. So that is part of J. Allen Hynek's elements of high strangeness. You get one or two, and it's just like maybe coincidence, but there's 3 or 4 or 5 things like that. It gets your interest, and although the scientific community would not go and recognize that as being, good evidence, nonetheless, it's evidence that can't be ignored, and so that's
exactly
to the fore.
I was, I had the opportunity to speak with Dr. Meldrum a few times. I actually had a call scheduled for something that I wanted to run by him about another cryptid, the dog man. And I did make I proposed a hypothesis that the dog man and Bigfoot are the same species, except the Bigfoot are the pure line, and anything defective they throw out, and that's where the dogmans come in, because there's multiple variations of it, and it really does mirror a lot of things that humans do in life with defects and whatever, bastard children, whatever.
Interesting.
Unfortunately, Meldrum passed away, but that man is what really validated Bigfoot research. And when we say research, it's the Joe and Jane going out into the woods, like the experiencers and having the interactions. Right. It's not these people that, I met someone who's an animal behaviorist, supposedly. And I said to them before, I'm like, they're writing a dissertation on stuff. I'm like, first of all, you're losing people left and right, and it's very arrogant of you to do that. You usually, like when I speak, I can speak at a high level in academia, but no one's going to follow me. But I want people to get the idea. Yeah. So I don't want to say dumb it down. And that's what I do. So people walk away going, oh, okay. Yeah. But they were too highbrow for it. Yeah. But when you're taking that and then you're using artificial intelligence to grab your answers and put it in there, you're not impressing anybody. Keep it simple. And that's how most things are actually very simple in the field. Yeah. And you can't just compare animal behavior like a wolf, what a wolf would do right now, to something that looks like a 12-foot wolf. Yeah. It doesn't work, in my opinion.
Yeah, I want to jump on that. There's a term that I love called mystification. And there was a guy in Berkeley, it was S.I. Hayakawa. And Hayakawa, they were protesting in Berkeley back in the 60s. Hayakawa jumped on a Volkswagen Bug. He had a megaphone. He told the kids to get off the streets and go back into the classroom. He wrote a dissertation called Bessie the Cow. And when you're on the farmyard, and when you're in the farm, everybody knows who Bessie the Cow is. But these academics, these scientists, they start climbing that ladder of abstraction. And they start talking about mammals and phylums and the Latin, what is it, bovine, mammalia, whatever that is. So they're up here. So when you're up here at this high level of that on that ladder of abstraction, only the academic elite know what the hell you're talking about. You've missed everybody else. So that's a way that some of these academics, some of these scientists try to use words to mystify us and bamboozle us. It's called mystification. And what they do is they'll throw out these words that are up there that nobody knows what the hell they're talking about. So if you bring it down and just talk about Bessie the Cow, everybody knows exactly what you're talking about. That is pure communication, one-on-one. So,
and what I was trying to, because the group that I was formerly with started to get fractured. People felt like inferior because this person made them feel inferior. I tried to explain to the leader like what's going on. Like, and again, I use the example like if I ask this person, do you want Chinese food or pizza? I'm going to get a dissertation on how bread is made, how to harvest tomatoes, what the molecular structure of the tomatoes are, and the different types of cheese, and then the 42 different types of Chinese style of food cuisine. And at that point, I'm just like, you want pizza or Chinese food? So, you may think you're sounding highbrow and whatever, and really speaking for academia, but you're not. And it doesn't help. And I tried to explain this to them. The individual in question apparently comes off and is listed with an organization as a animal psychic. I will tell you, the greatest way to just, have people not give a damn and make fun of your organization is to put them up and under the scientist category, animal psychic. Now, if you put a veterinarian up there, sure. If you put a entomologist up there, sure. If you put an audio engineer up there, PhD in audio, which is very in frequency, yeah. And they may have this belief, but in academia, the minute you say, well, I'm also an animal psychic, they'd laugh you out of the room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And people don't understand that, we don't need tinfoil hats, Max, for the tinfoil hat,
One individual that never got called out was David Grush. They had the first congressional UFO hearings in July of 2023. And I remember I'm listening, I was riveted. I was riveted to this. I think finally we're going to find the answer, which we didn't. But anyway, Grush talked about non-human biologics. And I'm thinking, what? I've been in this field for a long time. What non-human biologics? It just rolled off your tongue. I don't think I ever heard of that term before. So he's talking about all these terms that maybe only these guys in the black ops would talk or know about, but nobody called him that. Grush talked a good talk. He said that he would go and reveal this information where the bodies are and where the craft are under the right circumstances, with the right people. And to this day, we have not found out what he has to share. And then it happened again in November of 2024. Luis Elizondo was there. He was the star. And he said the same thing. And again, it's the same old song, that the government knows something. There's no transparency. They're hiding something from us. That's it. Nothing beyond that. Nothing, no nuts and bolts, no flesh and blood. And then they just had another one in 2025. And again, it was more of the same. We know that there's some information that really looks valid, especially the Nimitz. I think it was 2014 Nimitz.
It was actually
2004.
It was earlier, and I remember seeing these videos and going, what's so special? I've seen this before. Now I get sent stuff from 000 numbers, and sometimes these things appear like, you need to see this. And I can't track it down to I don't know, it's like a whistleblower thing. And I'm like, really? I need this.
I am a big flying saucer advocate. I'm a Vietnam veteran. I was a radarman aboard the USS Constellation.
Okay.
We saw numerous UFOs, solid, tangible contacts, more maneuverable than any guided missile anybody had at the time.
Oh yeah.
And
Foo Fighters of
we didn't know what they were. We didn't know what they were. We put in the logbook UFOs, and they told us to keep our mouths shut. Don't talk about it. So
exactly. So, but here's the problem I had. I and hear me out for 2 seconds. I believe disclosure actually took place globally, and it was done in 1977 with the release of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and Dr. Hynek was in there. He didn't have to say a word or violate his non-disclosure or whatever. He just took a pipe out of his mouth and looked with the camera up there, and then you saw everything was taking place. Now, the problem I have with this is I think it's a smoke and mirrors, dog and pony show.
Right.
Lou he lies and deceives for a living through the government. Thank you very much, guys, for your service. But I'm not going to, if you still have your security clearance, I don't believe a word coming out of your mouth. And then as far as Grush is concerned, There is some issues with his constitution. A lot of it's hearsay, and he may mean well, and it may be truthful, but it kind of distracts from the validity, in my opinion.
Yeah, and again, let me just interject if I may.
Sure.
So his narration was pretty good, until he started sort of to talk about the 1930s, that Mussolini captured a flying saucer that they gave to the Vatican, and the Vatican gave to the United States. I mean, I've tried to track that down and find anything.
Never happened.
Yeah, it never happened. Yeah. So again, so there was a little bit of truth, and then there was a little lie there, a big lie. Same thing with Luis. He was in Philadelphia doing a presentation, $50 a ticket, and they were showing this flying saucer that I think was supposed to be from Romania, and here it was a chandelier. They called him out, and he was saying, he was arguing about this. I mean, he got found out, he got busted. So just admit, okay, somebody screwed up, somebody on the team screwed up, but he didn't admit to that. And so again, that's another black eye. You're either honorable and honest, or you're not. So I mean, I
think the only people that testimony in that case that you can really trust are the pilots.
Right. Yeah. Okay, good.
That's it. I had a guest on, he's a brother of mine, not biological. He does stuff, and he signed a ton of non-disclosure agreements. We have private conversations, but he tried to get me on something about the type of extraterrestrials. I said, well, it was at one point way back in 2000, early 2000s, 2010s, there was, known at one point about 200 different races of extraterrestrials or species. It's now well past 450 different species, some of which look like your favorite characters. They look like Ewoks, they look like Bigfoot, they look like werewolves. You name it. Everything scientifically. But I said, or are you trying to talk to me about the silicone-based beings instead of the carbon-based that we are? Mm-hmm. And he looked at me, and his eyes went. And I said, yeah, I know what's going on, brother. I've been investigating this for a while.
That is a juicy theory, that aliens could come down here and mimic anybody, any human or beast, and just be out there, So makes sense. I mean, just observe it. Well,
I'll give you an example. I used to, in New York, I started the New York State UFO project, and I still have these groups, but it's all global, really. I just wanted to give it a group because apparently the ghost hunting people, they did not like that you also looked at UFOs or Bigfoot. No, we can't mix this. It's like those people that need the peas separated from the mashed potatoes. I'm like, no, we mix it all together because guess what? It tastes better, and there's a thread through them. So we did a live. The first Thursday of the month was in Yonkers, New York, at a library. It was open to anybody that wanted to be there. Take it seriously, and we would have discussions and presentations. And then the third Thursday of the month, we go to Red Hook, New York, upstate, by the Culinary Institute, Aquinas College, where Franklin FDR's home was, the little, and we do a live presentation in a restaurant that was owned by a friend of ours. When we were in that restaurant, we had government people walk in. We knew they were government people. You just know. Mm-hmm. And they sat there and taking notes and whatever. And then we had a gentleman there named John. His name was John. I don't remember the last name. Really nice, very pale, kind of like Pleiadian-esque. And I'm giving a presentation on something. My buddy Al sitting in the side, and everybody's in front of me. And John's sitting in the side corner, and he's smiling. And as he's, I'm giving this presentation, I catch him in the corner of my eye. Then I look at him. He's vibrating. He's distorting. And he's smiling, he's happy, and I just walked over and and take a look at these photos right here, because I give from my perspective, my videos and stuff. And I walked over to my buddy, I go, take a look at John behind me. He's like, yeah. And I go look, tell me what he's doing. He goes, holy crap, he's vibrating. I'm like, yeah.
Wow. That's nuts.
So I think he got found out. It was not that long after, maybe within a year and a half, 2 years. There was magically a fire in his apartment up in upstate New York, and I think he went where he had to go back up because he got caught. Really nice guy though, tremendous. It's all in the research, and when we get back down to it, there are experts in this field. They work in black budget places in deep state.
Yeah.
They know that they're a Bigfoot. They know they're a dogman. They've been doing genetics on all these different things. They know about UFOs, whatever you want. So they know what's going on. But currently, in current world, scientific wise, we do not have any real research on these things, the UFOs, cryptids, whatever, if we don't have the eyewitness testimony and the people that have been in the field and explain things to you.
Right,
and if you're a scientist and you discredit anything, you're not a scientist. You have to keep it all in your book, even the crazy stuff. It's a hypothesis. And then when you have an interaction where the crazy stuff comes through, you're like, oh my God, hold on. Maybe this is something more to it. So
well, what was interesting about the pushback from the community, I know that Gerald Allen Hynek he did not believe in UFOs until he got that flare up in Michigan where he said it was swamp gas, and there were all kinds of people that said no, especially Gerald Ford, and it became politicized. And Gerald Ford said no, it's an actual UFO, and and he wanted to go and just do something to protect the reputation of Michigan. But that's right after that, Hynek started to take a second look at these witnesses. And he said this, he said that the scientific community and himself have been disrespectful to these witnesses. Instead of saying, what did you see? Where was it? What was it like? And getting that information from them, they would discount these witnesses as being just hysterical, needy people, people that were mentally imbalanced and all that. So Hynek came around and had an epiphany, and he became one of the biggest proponents of flying saucers and the close encounters of the first, second, and third kind. And then the other one in the scientific community was John Mack, and he was from Harvard.
yes,
And he took abductees seriously. There was major pushback and inquisitions from the academic society there in Harvard. I mean, how dare he sully their wonderful reputation? But he stayed with it and forged ahead. And he was he had breakthroughs. But I mean, he paid the price for telling his truth. And it was almost like sort of like back in the days before Christ with the heretics,
right.
Bruno, Galileo, Copernicus. They burned Bruno at the stake for claiming that the earth went around the sun, when church and state said no, because we're made in the image of God. Earth is the most significant planet, so everything goes around the earth. Well, that wasn't true. And Copernicus said that, but he was too old for him to get punished. And Galileo, they put him on house arrest, and Bruno, they burned him at the stake. All because they said that the earth revolved around the sun. And the church and state said that it didn't, and they said that this was blasphemy, that these people were heretics. They died for their belief. And it still happens. I mean, people are afraid to come forward because even though there's a whistleblower act and everything, I think government workers are reluctant to screw up their government pensions and benefits and all that stuff, the perks. I mean,
right.
Some of these guys have really well-paying jobs, and when they retire, it's going to be a very nice lifestyle. And I think a lot of them are just reluctant to come forward and say, I was part of this government agency that did reverse engineering or whatever it is. That's the one that you hear about all the time. But I don't know. With all this, there's a little bit of truth and there's a little bit of the lie. There's a little kernel of truth, and then there's a lot of innuendo. It's difficult for us in the paranormal to get to the truth, to get to the reality. And that's the way it is. And like you said, none of us are experts. None of us.
None of us are experts, and I agree. I don't trust them at all. Wayne and Michelle. I just have a problem with it. I appreciate his service, what he's done. I don't trust anybody involved in the disclosure movement. I trust more people in the Disclosure Now movement, which Bryan Singh has brought forward.
Mhm.
And I can introduce you to him because they probably love to have you as a
Please do,
speaker as well.
I'm a gun for hire,
Yeah, but one of the other things
I'll
besides
do it
John
for a
Mack,
sandwich.
yeah, I'm a gun for hire. Just yeah, I hear you. One of my favorites also was Bud Hopkins,
Yeah, right.
who's and the Witness book, which is about the woman being abducted from an apartment building in Manhattan,
Yeah.
like wee hours of the morning, with the head of the United Nations getting abducted as well,
Yeah.
and having an issue, and because they had a moment there. Yeah, these are people, anybody that's worth their salt, in my opinion, and are on to certain things in the past, they have unfortunate accidents, and John Mack was one of them. It was
Right.
everything about the car and the accident was very suspect in my opinion. But now it's changed. They're not as quick to get you off the scene that way, like take you out, unless you're you like here are the documents that you wanted. They'll usually use methods of they'll put child pornography on your computer,
Right.
and they'll get you that way.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's
And they did that to another Romanek, and he was told numerous times, cut it out, stop pushing. But
Yeah.
when you're someone who's being abducted constantly, and you're getting this stuff, and you don't have the education for the science or the math, and you're like, I'm telling you they're real, and they keep invading your space and going through your stuff, looking for whatever you got or whatever you're writing down, it gets frustrating.
Mhm.
But I think what the world wants today is, there's a lot of people that have been ridiculed throughout their entire life for believing in UFOs and fairies and whatever, and they just want the "I told you so" moment. But this isn't going to be it. This disclosure stuff. My personal opinion, the aliens will disclose themselves before the government will. But your take?
Probably, yeah. No, with the fairies, we have some neighbors, they're Irish. And I ask them about the fairies, and everybody over there, their family, they believe, they've seen, they know. I mean, it's a cultural paranormal phenomenon. It may not be that that significant or that heavy here in the United States, but over there in Ireland, I mean, they're true believers. So, whatever that's all about, I mean, that's just pretty amazing. So everybody got a fairy story. Yep. Your mic just went off. Yeah.
I do that all the time. I was trying to get a photo up to show you. I was on a show during the lockdown. We went out into the in New York State up for a mountain, and my youngest is a ham. So I'm like, hey, and I'm taking pictures with my camera, and she's doing the poses. She was probably 10 years old. She always did it. And as a paranormal investigator, I don't take one photo. It drives people nuts, by the way. I take at least 3 or 4. And they're like, why'd you take so many photos? I'm like, force a habit, because I want to see the boom, boom, boom. I want to see if it moves, right? So I'm looking at it. I'm going through the camera. I'm like, what the hell is that? So I downloaded it. She has a fairy on her finger. I'll send it to you. You'll see it.
Yeah.
And she's standing. I'll send you and then I'll send you the close up. You can see the skeletal of the body. You can see where the eyes are. It is the most insane thing in the planet.
Yeah. One of the big criticisms about Sasquatch is that with all the trail cameras and drones and technology, yada yada yada, we don't have any really good proof other than Patterson-Gimlin from 1967, which I believe is accurate and authentic. But
100% with you on that. 100%.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Bryan, to go back to your earlier point about Dr. Meldrum, is he, after closely studying the Patterson-Gimlin film, he makes you observe aspects of the film in his lectures where he could blow up the footage and
Right.
point out, like the skin moving. It's, he's a very convincing speaker, based on the facts. And so I just want to say something.
Yeah, no,
Support.
I agree with you on that. And one of the keys, I don't believe all the hype now about it. I think people are trying to just make some buzz on the story, which is really sad. I think what they got, the reason why they got what they've gotten of this of Patty, which I believe was a female, and there was a baby involved. There's an offspring there too, by the way. If you really watch the video,
Yeah.
The reason why they got that is there is no electronics involved in the actual capture, so it's old film footage, and this way they can't manipulate or do what they innately can do, where they draw energy, which would manipulate film. This is why we get blob squatches now.
Yeah.
And it's the greatest piece of evidence for a Bigfoot, or you want to call them Sasquatch.
Yeah, all 58 seconds of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you want to talk about the hoax and the suit and, Max.
Yeah, I don't know if this is, sorry, Mark. And this is the photo at White. There it is. And you can see her. So now my dad's was a professional photographer. I know about lens flare. This is not lens flare whatsoever. The top is, but I'm shooting up and it's nothing reflecting off my camera either. Just so you can see it. Now I'm going to zoom in on it because I think Max needs to have a better look. And I think this would work better. That's yeah. And there may be one more. Let me see if I can get that on there. Just to give people an idea. I think this one may be even closer.
Yeah.
You can see it's not a cricket. It looks like it could be like Jiminy Cricket from Pinocchio.
Yeah.
But there's wings, there's a structure on it. But if you understand the personality of my daughter and what she's capable of doing, she's a prime candidate for this in a good way.
Okay. So she has the energy. Is she like
she
a
has,
magnet?
100%. She's probably going to kill me because, like she's tough. She's at the age right now where she's a teen. And it's just like, and she goes, I know you're not going to kill me. You love me too much. And I'm like, just hold on to those thoughts.
Yeah.
If you've never had a teenage daughter, they are the scariest cryptid in the planet. But I agree with you with that, So, barring the UFO stuff, I know you were handling a case that originally was in Pennsylvania, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Squirrel hunting. And I kind of hear a little bit of it. And I think, I don't know the full details. I got to be honest, Max. I don't need to have turn on the flashlight, make this move. I have an ability and a couple abilities which freaked me out initially. I can see the departed. The only thing I do that's above my pay grade, I don't do it, is anything demonic. Even remotely demonic.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people, if I'm not going in that building, you really shouldn't either.
Yeah. Well, you go ghost hunting and you don't know what you're going to find. I mean, it could be a spirit, a ghost, or a demon. You don't know. And, we believe that anger fuels demonic energies. We believe that anybody could be tempted, could be infested, could be possessed. So there's just a lot of mechanisms there. But the Schmerl haunting took place in West Pittston, Pennsylvania, about 30 minutes away from where I live. I'm from northeastern Pennsylvania. So this happened in the 80s, and a typical haunted house, the bumps, the smells, the really cold rooms, profanities etched on the mirrors. The German Shepherd levitated and was flung across the room. And the most dramatic thing was that Jack Schmerl claimed that he was raped by succubus, a female demon. And I think that when you compare, and I compared in my book, The Schmerl Haunting, I compare Schmerl with Amityville, with the Hinsdale house, with the damned Wells house. And the Schmerl haunting was a lot more intense. I think it was personal. Jack was raped by a succubus. His wife was sexually molested. I think they had a target on their back because they were devout Christians. I think that the devil, the demon, wanted to take him down. I think the demon scores more points for someone who has devoted their life, dedicated life to the Lord and to the to scriptures and all that. So I think that that's what happened. And I've had so many people say, "Well, why the Schmerls? Of all the people in West Pittston, Pennsylvania, why did they attack the Schmerls?" And and I say, I don't know how the devil thinks. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was just fun to be them. So anyway, so I saw this when it was happening. I was there. Ed and Lorraine Warren came to town in 1988 to promote the book called The Haunted, which was about the West Pittston, the Schmerl haunting. And it was written by Bob Curran. So I went there and met them in 1988 in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, befriended them, became friends with them, and took all kinds of like crazy pictures of them that are in, if I could, I never could find this stuff when I wanted, but they were in extensively in my book. And, but anyway, I can't find it. But anyway, that's the picture I took of them in 1988. Very nice, very respectful. They walked me through this. And I would call Ed Warren just to ask him questions about the demonic realm and how he did battle with these demons. And a lot of times Lorraine would answer, and you could hear her rooster Einstein in the background. She was a pet lover, so that was kind of funny. But they treated me really well. I mean, they were I considered them friends. And so that was the three things. One, I was from that area. Two, I met Ed and Lorraine. And then three, July 11th, 2025, I went to Gettysburg to see Annabelle the doll, and I met Dan Rivera, the chief handler. Dan agreed to do an interview with me over the phone when he went back to Monroe, Connecticut. We were going to do this on Monday the 14th. Dan, unfortunately, died the day before. He died on Sunday the 13th. Yeah. I've been told that I was the last or one of the last paranormal researchers to talk to him. One journalist asked me, "Do you think that Annabelle killed him so he wouldn't talk to me?" And the other thing, the New England Society for Psychic Research, and listen to this because, we talk about the controversy. We talk about maybe ghost hunters not liking flying saucer people or Bigfoot people. There's a lot of crazy stuff in our field. Everybody hates everybody. But anyway, some people hate everybody. But anyway, the New England Society for Psychic Research said that I was celebrating Dan Rivera's death and I was making money from his death. And if we could just go and discuss that for a second. They took Annabelle out of Monroe, Connecticut, took her to San Antonio, to New Orleans, to West Virginia, to the penitentiary, and to Gettysburg. When Annabelle was in Gettysburg for those 3 days, the local newspaper said that there were 1,260 people there, Brian, that paid $40 a head to see her. And that's something like $50,000. And when you take a look at all the gigs that they did with Annabelle, it's closer to $200,000. Now, who's making money from, so don't point your fingers at me. And, that's just disgusting.
There's one part where when people, like someone that's a friend of yours passes away, anything that comes in that you're just making money, people do things out of anger without thinking.
Yeah.
There's a lot of peculiarity in this whole field.
And
very few loyal people. There are very few real friends.
Yeah. And God forbid if you make a couple.
Not a lot of real friends in this chat, though.
God forbid if you climb that ladder and you're successful and you start getting name recognition. I mean, what happens? I mean, there's all these boo birds that find a way to go and castigate you or to bring you down. And
Yeah, so, I went to the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash at the Eisenhower last July.
Yeah, okay.
And it was just after that. And
July 11th.
Yeah. And it was there's a lot of people there there's a lot of people that say they know everybody. And then there are people, you don't really know everybody. You kind of like, hey, what's up? You say hi, and it's kind of a cordial thing, but you're
Right.
not calling, none of them saved your life in a rice paddy in Vietnam.
Yeah.
So people, it's really weird. Certain generations, especially with the social media aspect of it, because you're friends on some social media, that you're really friends. And I'm like, I'm very nice and cordial to everybody. Okay. But the fact of the matter is, my inner circle, the people that really do know me and that I allow to know me, they have my phone number. Okay. Some of them, and we do have discussions. I have a lot of really true, nice people that I know there. I know a lot of other people that make up these stories. I know there's a ton of people that are writing the story revolution. I've heard my story retold on my encounters, probably about 12 different podcasts. And I'm like, that's a great story. He goes, yeah. I said, you could have just asked me. I would have told you myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't mind if you want to reiterate something, but stop with the thievery and stop with whatever. I mean, all you did was change some of the, it's the same exact story. And some people do it.
We when the Schmirl book came out, we had my publisher got I guess it was an email from one of the Schmirl girls asking why we didn't get permission, ask the Schmirl family for permission to write the book, and why we didn't enter into a contract so they could get some of the revenue.
Right, the revenue.
Yeah, and something, you want to get the revenue, write a book, do the research, do your due diligence. Don't try to go and, this was just, black.
Well, yeah.
I mean, come on. And so anyway, we sent them a nice letter and said no. No, thank you. But
yeah.
Anyway, that's that. It's just the way it is in this country. If you're successful, they'll come after you and they litigate.
Of course, and you don't need permission. Well, you're not really writing about them as much as you're writing about the story surrounding whatever they had. So you don't need permission for that.
There was nothing that was private and intimate. The Jack and Janet Schmirl have been on every single TV program. They've had the movies, the book. There are stories out there. We know what their stories.
Right.
Yeah, all of that. It wasn't that there was anything that was intimate or confidential that we wrote about or that Anxiety Press published, but nonetheless, the book is controversial, as maybe it should be. It's a paranormal book, but I'll say this. I know, Mark, you read it. I hope you liked it, and I hope you can endorse it. But
sure,
the book was this. If you want to know about the Schmirl haunting, don't go see Conjuring Last Rites, because that's all fictitious.
Yeah.
Read my book, The Schmirl Haunting, when Ed and Lorraine came to town.
There
that's
it is.
True thing. And I was there.
Right. And here's the book. It's on Max Furek's website.
Yeah.
But his books, just look up Maxim W. Furek on Amazon as an author, and you can get the book there. It's very reasonably priced. He has a plethora of great titles. I'm piqued. I'm intrigued on it. I don't normally like the digital versions, but I have something that will work with Kindles.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to read it, but also when I'm driving long distances and I can't read it, I can do the audio version of it. It'll read the book.
Okay. By the way, you owe me $15.
Oh, I do?
Yeah. Mark said that every time you use the word plethora,
I do that purposely.
$5, so you're up to 15.
I do that purposely because of I forgot the name of the movie. Ruby, would you have a plethora of pinatas? Yes, I would say El Guapo. Yeah, that's why I say it.
It's a good word. Yeah.
Yeah, most people like plethora. What do you I'm not trying to sound highbrow, folks. Trust me. I could work blue any moment at this point. But I think to answer your question, P&L, that's Jen Noseworthy from Paranormal Newfoundland podcast and Boots on the Ground team. Yeah. I believe they were in the house, but if you haven't had Max on, let me know. Let Mark know. He'll hook you up. Okay. She's got a great audience.
From Newfoundland, right?
Yes, Newfoundland. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd love to be on. Yeah. Jen, do you have an accent? Does she have an accent?
No, she doesn't. She's a dual citizen. So,
Okay.
yeah, she's a dual citizen.
Texas
she-
and Newfoundland.
Yeah, they're on UPRN, I believe it is, which is also a network, and you get a lot of people out there. So
Max is familiar with Michelle DeRoche's.
okay, I didn't know that.
Yep.
I love Michelle's name, DeRoche.
Yeah, I was on a show a few times.
Yeah, she's sweet and she's a great person.
My last interview I did with Cat Ward on UPRN, so I was the guest. There were 415,732 people that tuned in.
Say it again.
415,732 people tuned into the episode.
Wow, awesome.
Can you just give me 1% of that to subscribe to my show? It's not even I would love to. We're building organically, and I'd love to be able to have the ability that if someone likes something that they're seeing, they can send something. But I don't want to be censored. I'm not going to be bound by that. I want to say what I want to say.
Right. Yeah.
That it's called freedom. So, but it would be nice to have more people and bring more people. And shout, I see Triple C and D are there. Thanks for being here. I don't know. You seem new, so welcome, and everybody make him or her or them welcome. But one of the guys I used to investigate with, one of the guys, he's in New York. His brother was one of the first people in the country to get a degree in parapsychology.
Oh, wow. From
Duke?
Duke?
That's Frank Santoriga. And he actually did some stuff with Ed and Lorraine. And he, and they said, don't do it. Don't get involved in the demon stuff. It takes a piece of your life away from you.
I've been warned about that. I don't think I'm in danger. I mean, I view this as an academic and sort of as a skeptic. I'm fascinated by the possibilities of demonic possession and all that. But I mean, I don't dance with the devil. I don't worship the devil. I don't ask for anything from the devil. I'm good with what I got. And I mean, I got a strong faith. So I think I'm good. And, I got Padre Pio's holy water here that keep with
it's
me.
Really funny in my old apartment in New York. I put down these laminate tiles, and I was sitting there because it's a railroad kitchen, and I'm looking down and I'm like, oh my God, I got Padre Pio images in the tiles. If you look at it, it was really bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
It's my apartment alone, Max, is Grand Central Station for the ghosts and other things.
Okay.
Just so you know. I don't play around with cryptids because I got kids and I don't need to deal with that stuff.
And for the listeners out there, I don't know if they could see that. That's Padre Pio. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And he was the one. I mean, pretty interesting dude. He had the stigmata. He bled like Jesus Christ, and they didn't believe him. They thought he was a con artist. And the priest and brothers, they wrapped his wrist with gauze, and they kept it like that for like 6-7 days, and then they unwound it to see if he was still scabbed over, because that would show that he was human just like the rest of us. And here he was still bleeding like anything. So he had the stigmata, he performed miracles, and he had a thing called bilocation. And it was documented numerous times that they would see Padre Pio at this opera with all the brothers, and then they'd see him like 100 miles away someplace else. Documented physical bilocation. Call it what you will, but
incredible what he used to be able to do.
And the Vatican didn't know what to do, because thousands of people are coming to his church in Italy to either gawk at his stigmata, or for him to hear their confession, or just to be in his presence. Thousands of people. The Vatican couldn't believe. They thought this was a con artist that convinced thousands of people to believe his fantasies. They didn't know what to do with him. So here's Padre Pio. He's suffering from the stigmata, and he's suffering from being castigated by the church, by the Vatican, by his own people. So it took a while before they came around. But I mean, there's another one. You suffer for your truth. It wasn't just him. It's a lot of us. A lot of us in this paranormal. We suffer for our beliefs, and but I just, Padre Pio is, I just love Padre Pio.
No, I agree with you. I just wanted to share, Jen. I didn't have the numbers were readily available, so I asked her to share it. She did a show for New Year's, and they had 1,388,419 people there.
No, who did this?
This was Jen Noseworthy, who's the founder of Paranormal Newfoundland podcast and the Boots on the Ground team.
Yeah,
so
Jen,
Jen,
tell Jen to reach out to me.
I'm already doing it, and I'm sure Mark Eddy is quickly working the magic behind the scenes.
I know. How does he do that? Yeah.
He has a clone. I'm pretty sure Mark Eddy has a clone. Someplace.
Mark, you better have a clone with a snow shovel.
Snow shovel. Yeah. I mean, I'm worried about this whole storm, but talking about paranormal. But
it's just called being around for a long time and
Mark's just a great guy. Everybody, come on.
But
Bino's here. There he is. Bino gave him the psychic gangster, and we did a whole thing.
Yeah, Bino was doing the gangster mark earlier in the chat room.
Mark is just great. He has got a great sense of humor. He's really smart. He's got a great book. We're going to promote that too. So I told him to change his name when he does this show from Mark to the artist formerly known as Mark.
Oh, good. That's good. Yeah.
But so you've been to the property? Have you interacted in the area and all of this?
Yeah. When that was happening, I went up there, and what I did was I took pictures. I talked to the neighbors. I did not knock on the Schmerl's door. I knew that they were being harassed by the public, by the paparazzi, by everybody, and everybody was, and the demons. And Janet Schmerl received hundreds and hundreds of phone calls from these international reporters that wanted an exclusive interview. I mean, they were driving her crazy. So, it was that. It was the local citizens that didn't believe the Schmerls. They said, oh, well, they're making money from this. They're making money from this, and that's always the thing. And here's the thing: so what if somebody makes money? Does that mean that you're dishonest? I mean, aren't you allowed to make money in this capitalistic society? Isn't that what a lot of us are motivated for? Don't you try to monetize your podcast? I mean, isn't that the end game? I mean, other than having fun,
right?
We
do. I got to be honest. We do try to monetize. If you want this, if you want to buy us a rum, there's a link down there. I'd like to get it to the point where I don't have to really kind of keep paying for the streaming end. Mark can make a little bit of something. We're not making people that think they're going to go into podcasting and become like super uber wealthy. You're not. You missed the boat.
Yeah, you're right.
Everybody missed the boat. I mean, I've been doing podcasting for a while.
Is it like a pyramid scheme? But I don't mean to say it that way.
No, it's not a pyramid scheme. It's just like the people that caught the initial wave.
Yeah.
Like, and was posting. I was trying to do it, but it wasn't, not everybody had like, what's YouTube?
Yeah.
People didn't know about it. And then they catch the initial wave and they ride it like this Mr. Beast, who may be demonic himself. I mean, he's the richest, podcaster. There were so many people coming to watch him. That's what monetization really took off, because they were making some obscene money off of him on throwing up advertisements. Mm-hmm. So he started, we're talking a lot of money, like 20s of millions. Yeah, this guy, it's insane what he can do, but that's what you do. I mean, we're doing the show I want to always keep it entertaining and fun. This is who I am. I get asked when I get interviewed, I'm like, Bryan, are you ever serious? And I'm like, I will tell you this. I can be very serious, but if I'm very serious, we're in trouble because of there's multiple reasons,
Yeah.
and that's the truth. But we like to have a fun time. Mark is, he's really out of control. Jabbering on the
Because he's been cloned. He's been cloned. I like that.
yeah. I don't think we can clone Mark, but he'd probably enjoy it for a few minutes, just sitting there.
Yeah. Yeah. Mark came out of the woodwork, and all of a sudden he's my agent, manager, promoter. I mean,
Does a great job. I mean,
I forget how this came about. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe he put a spell on you.
I don't know.
He put some hoodoo and voodoo on you. I mean,
But I do his podcast, and Mark's always there in the background. Man, he's
Yeah, I think it was Kat Hobson that
I know
connected us.
Yeah, Fate. Yeah, okay.
Great. She's great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that were really doing well initially, like 10 years ago. And I know a lot of these people, thankfully I've met a few in person, and I love, these people. But somehow everybody goes different directions. Especially what you were saying, like Max, I mean, it's unfortunate you're being attacked on it. It's unfortunate that taking these stories and making them into things they are not, conjuring stuff.
Yeah.
And there's all this BS here and there, and you're like, what the hell's going on here?
But when you're being attacked, you stand your ground, and and I'm fine. I mean, like all I want to do is, I don't want to desecrate the paranormal. I want to go and do what I can to expand it and make it more valid and validated and all that. That's if I could contribute to the genre, then through my books and my research, then that's what I want to do. So I'm having fun, but I'm respectful of the paranormal community. And I expect to be respected as in turn, but sometimes these people come out of the woodwork, and and Mark, a lot of the Bigfoot guys in Western Pennsylvania, and some of them, if you're not out there in the boots on the ground, then you're not valid or legitimate.
Yeah.
And I'm not boots on the ground. I'm a academic, I'm not a scientist, of sorts, but I'm a researcher. And my book, The Lost Tribes of Bigfoot, I think is as good as any other book that's out there on the Bigfoot. It tells the story, and mine though has this, and if I may, immersive technology. You put your phone's camera there, and that opens up videos of me talking about the book throughout the book. So
that is one of the smartest things in the world to do, Max. Incredible.
And take a look at that, my friend. Club Wa in Greenwich Village. That was your
done that.
Look at that. That's my rock and roll picture. So
it's you're in the right place, right time. I don't play the reindeer game thing. I just do me. Tell everybody you do you and I do me.
Yeah, right.
And your books being what they are, and you have a lot of them. I didn't use plethora of this. Well, I just said it there.
20. Okay.
Everybody take a shot. Everybody take a shot. No, I'm not paying anybody. Sorry if I'm using plethora too much. See, take a shot. We're going to make this into a Wednesday night when people come into work. Like, Woo's like, you all right? Yeah, I had a couple of shots last night. Like, I think you had a plethora of them. Whatever. We used to do that with, but it's on the demonic side of this. Was this true demonic, or was it, a ghost that is? No, I want people to read the book. I want people to go out and buy the book. But I'm saying, like, without giving away the full gist of it, because there are spirits that will act like they're demonic, but they're just spirits that are just not.
Well, Lorraine thought she had it figured out, so she talked about the entities that she was able to identify there at the Schmerl haunting. So she sort of had the last say on that. What's interesting, Father Alphonse Treble came there, and he was the one. He performed 4 exorcisms on the Schmurra house until he got it cleansed, which is pretty interesting. 4 times, but he also went to the I could never find. Never mind. Okay. Also went to the.
I do the same thing.
Yeah. God, shoot me. The Hinsdale house, and he went there and tried to cleanse it. That was the Dandy family, and there were daggers, and knives were being thrown at them, and all kinds of crazy stuff. Typical haunted house stuff, but no rape, no sexual assault, so it wasn't personal, it wasn't that violent, but. Alphonse Triebolt went there and tried to cleanse the house, and he couldn't. He said some houses are just pure evil. He said this house is a gateway to hell. Get away, take your belongings, don't tell anybody where you're going, and leave. And Hinsdale house, I mean, you could still spend the night there. I think it's like $350 from 6 at night till like 10 in the morning. So be my guest.
I will tell you, there's currently, and I don't know the location of it, there is a townhome in the DC area that is off the chart, like evil.
Yeah.
Something happened. They've boarded it up numerous times, and it explodes. It's almost like a portal to hell.
Yeah, right.
For the most part. Yeah. And the clergy's been in there. I'm going to try to find the location I passed by some of these places.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this question. Why was it that Father Alphonsus Triebolt was able to cleanse the Schmurl haunting, the Schmurl house? It took him 4 times, but he cleansed that. Whereas he wasn't able to go and cleanse the Dandy house, the Hinsdale house in Western New York. I mean, what do you think? Was his powers not that strong, or was the demon's powers stronger, or what? I mean,
I think when you're dealing with a one-on-one, that's the difference between a one-on welcome to 50, 60, 100 different things that are utilizing that energy field to go up. Now you're fighting 100 entities, and it's not easy. And then there are certain points of this earth that are, it's not just the house. It goes so deep into the ground. Who knows? Maybe one of the watchers that was, watched while the daughter of man were being taken advantage of, wasn't buried in that part of the globe. Like there's a vortex there. Not all of them were buried under the Euphrates River, and when that river recedes, they'll be really, whatever it is. You don't know what was there. You don't know how powerful it is. There's different levels to these spirits and these beings, whether they're fallen angels or whatever. And this is why we say the Holy St. Michael prayer. There are people that are built stronger, better, and whatever to deal with stuff like this. Right. I say that I stay the hell away from it. I'll deal with, extraterrestrials, high strangeness. I've had very close encounters with Bigfoot as well as the Dogman. Closest with Bigfoot was 6 inches from my foot.
Wow.
And that was in Western Connecticut. And in New York State, I was no more than 12 to 15 feet from what would have turned out to be a 12-foot Dogman.
Wow.
Yeah. And so it varies. I know I'm not, I have children, I have other people around me. I don't have the strength nor the sacrifice to do it. But, and I've said this before, I've had issues a couple of years ago where I felt there was like something evil, like permeating throughout this planet, like very demonic, very evil. I had friends call me and go, I'm told to give you this message, just keep the faith and keep praying and whatever. I'm like, and it kind of coincided with certain feelings or emotions I was having. And long story short, in Florida, I went out one night and I said, you know what, I need a break. I don't normally watch TV, but I was watching Running Scared, the movie, long time ago. And I got to the point, I'm just sitting there. I'm like, because it's fun. And you see the Jesus Saves cross, and then they zoom in on the 3 characters walking under the 666 lounge. I'm like, I'm done. I clicked it. I went out to the racetrack, like, outside of my community. I said, I'm going to get I'm going to get a drink and a treat. And I don't normally do the treat.
Mm-hmm.
When I parked the car, there was a black gentleman sitting there, 10:30 at night, blood red shirt, polo, and he's wearing mirrored sunglasses. The guy had a bad vibe, and he's asking about, the bright line in the trains. And I'm like, yeah, you go down that road.
Yeah.
And I swear to you, Max, I was talking to the devil.
Wow.
That's exactly what it felt like. And I know I'm protected by Archangel Michael. So I love you, Michael. But I couldn't get away from this guy fast enough. He wanted me to take him on a trip. I'm like, you're not getting anywhere near my car or me. You remember a movie called Angel Heart with Mickey Rourke?
Yeah.
Okay, where
I like his early stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of had that he had this little smile, he knew I knew. It's kind of hard to describe the interactions. I'm not making this up. And I'm like, yeah, you got to go down there. You may want to take a cab. And I walked in and I was like, let me get my drink. So I got my Fanta, and I say it all the time, a Twinkie. I haven't had Twinkies in forever. Still, it'll be in me for the next 100 years. And when I checked out at the racetrack, the total was $6.66.
Wow, man.
So I said, oh, I'm like, Michael, God, I need your protection right now. And I felt like I was being protected. And I said, send him back to hell. And when I left, he just smiled and snickered as I got in my car. And I'm like, go F yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say it to him personally, but I was like, you can go F yourself, go to hell. I'm not, you're not getting me.
Yeah.
Max,
go ahead.
You do, since we're kind of in the religious section of the show, you do talk about the roots of the Catholic Church are more closely associated with exorcisms than the Protestant Church.
Right.
Can you tell a little bit about the difference in the 2 churches' approaches to the example, just say the example Bryan just gave us?
Yeah, sure. Now, I'm a former practicing Catholic and altar boy and all that. So the Catholic Church seems to have maybe monopolized the rite of exorcism. We believe that there's a demonic world, that the devil exists. Pope John Paul II convened a college, a school of exorcism, and there were priests there from, I think it was 130 different countries that came there to learn the ancient medieval rites of exorcism. And then he rewrote the literature about that, so he updated that. Protestants, I believe, stopped doing the exorcism maybe in the 1600s, and I think and again, I can't speak for the Protestants, but I believe that their road is directly to the Lord or directly to Jesus Christ, whereas Catholics are surrounded by our saints, and I think it's a wonderful, beautiful thing. Like what's mine is Padre Pio, but I also take your pick. I mean, when Ed Warren would go and do demonic battle with his demons, he would invoke the spirit of Padre Pio, of Jesus Christ, of Saint Michael, the archangel. When Padre Pio did battle, he said that the power of Satan is great, but I go to the Blessed Mother for my strength. So there's differences in that, but in a sense, I've been thinking about this. Why is it that Protestants go directly to God or to Jesus Christ, and we go to these intermediaries? Maybe it's because maybe we're not worthy to consider this, worthy to look into the eyes of God. Maybe, we're meant to talk to people like, the other people, the lesser people, like maybe like Padre Pio. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get into that thing. I was just something I was thinking out loud, but there is a difference. Catholics do take this seriously. People in Latin American and Central American countries take it real serious. There's a nice influx of Haitian, of West Indies voodoo with Catholicism that we see in various places in the world, and even like in Louisiana, with the voodoo and the conjurers and all that. So it's rich, it's vibrant. People believe in it, and I think that the existence of the devil, of evil. I mean, what does it look like? What do you call it? I mean, evil is evil in the form of lust, of coveting, of envy, jealousy, rage. I mean, all that. I mean, so those human emotions, if they're not in check, I mean, they could really become evil-like, and we could do some very evil-like things if we're not in control and if we let those emotions take over. So again, it's there. We have Jung talked about this, and Robert Louis Stevenson talked about it in Jekyll and Hyde. I mean, there's two sides of us. The one side that you see here, the public side, and then we have the private side, and then we have the very intimate side that nobody sees. We keep that really hidden, because I don't want anybody to see that side of me, because you may not like me. So, but it works for all of us. And evil exists. You do what you can to fill yourself with God's grace, and to find ways to do battle. But I mean, again, I have a friend who's a born again Christian, and he keeps on warning me not to get too close to the flame, and I keep on saying, I don't dance with the devil. I'm not, so.
Yeah. Well, you also say that Jesus was the first exorcist.
Yeah. Well, in the Bible, you see that there's the rite of exorcism is pretty much commonplace in the Bible. One of the first miracles that Christ did was to cast out the demons, and he taught his disciples that you too could cast out demons if you do that in my name and in my spirit. And that's what these Catholic exorcists do today. I mean, they do it in the spirit and name of Christ, and they don't do it, but it's the power is through God. All things through God. So, and before any of us think that we're experts or of anything or authorities, you just use that word. All things through God. I mean, it all comes from God. So. And a lot of people, they don't like to talk. They don't like the God talk for whatever reason. Well, I'm over that. I mean, it's a good thing. It's, I think hopefully that is something that defines me. And I write about Catholic mysticism, and I write about people like Saint Teresa of Avila in my book, Co-Regent Hoodoo. Saint Teresa of Avila, get this, said that through prayer and meditation, we can reach certain states of ecstasy, rapture, and flight of the soul. And flight of the soul is an out-of-body experience. So there's documentation that she actually levitated, that she was embarrassed that she could levitate, that the sisters had to hold her down. So call it what you will, but her levitation is akin to Padre Pio's bilocation. I mean, there's a lot of paranormal weirdness going around in the spiritual community. So,
one of the things that people have to understand, and this is what I've discovered in all the time researching, investigating this stuff, it's this whole thing, no matter where you are on this paranormal, and I will say use paranormal for universal of this stuff. It's sound, frequency, vibration, resonance. Okay, that is the key. That is the Rosetta Stone. And when you learn how to elevate your frequency and rise up from, and you're vibrating at a higher frequency, you start to use you hemisync. You're using more parts of your brain and a larger percentage of it. We have abilities that would blow you away. And I thoroughly believe that if we were at our peak and we were 90% using our brains, or even close to 70%, we have the ability to vibrate at the same frequency of any solid material and pass through it. We have the ability to travel, not necessarily physical, but our consciousness, which is really your essence. I think the consciousness, the third eye, is all connected to the soul. That's your experience, Rod, right? It all interconnects. And people, you can make fun of it all you want, but there's nothing wrong with believing in God. I'm very spiritual. I do have a personal relationship with God, what I consider God, and some other things. And it's nobody else's business but me. And
exactly, that's exactly what I say all the time. It's nobody's business. It's our personal, intimate relationship with our higher power. Nobody needs to know that.
Right. And I'm not here to, I don't want to talk anymore because I don't want people to be upset because you don't believe this. You don't look, grow up. You're allowed to, do you, as we say. But here's the problem I do have. And this is a current trend in this whole entire paranormal podcasting and field. People are so ultra right, born again, right. King James Bible, right. That everything, if it's not Jesus, it's a demon.
Yeah.
Bigfoot, demon. Nephilim, demon. Ghost, demon.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you, if we just look at the prayer from Holy Saint Michael, and I have it. I'm just going to while we're here, let's just throw it up, and you can and people can listen to it for 2 seconds. It's 27 seconds. Listen.
Holy Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly hosts, by the power of God, thrust into hell Satan and all the other evil spirits who prowl through the world, seeking the ruin of souls. Amen and amen.
And what a great picture of Saint Michael and the demon man with the tail. That's good.
It's a classic image of it. But in that prayer, it's a very key sign. Okay. Yes, there are the devil, Satan, and demons, but before them, there are other evil animals prowling this planet, looking to sour ruin of the soul of humanity. Someone was called the jinn, and someone goes, well, that's just Arabic for demon. I'm like, yes and no. I love when people that again, BTG's PhDs, or weekend warriors that sit on their chair and tell you, oh, you haven't had a Bigfoot, but yet have gotten their fat ass off a chair and in the woods. Or my favorite one is, oh, we went out investigating Bigfoot. Did you get out of the car, or were you just driving down the street? Okay. Big difference.
I think, I know this woman. I met her at, I did a conference last year, Northeastern Pennsylvania, and she's living in, I think, Saudi Arabia. She's Lebanese, and she was talking about the jinn. And my understanding, we talk about the Judeo-Christian tradition, but I think more accurately, it's Judeo-Christian Islamic, because both Islam and Christianity borrowed a lot from Judaism. I mean, they're like pretty much together. And and Islam believes in devils and has an exorcism. I mean, it parallels a lot of our beliefs. So it's funny because, I mean, with all the anti-Semitism and people that don't like Muslims, it's amazing how freaking close we are. I mean, we're pretty much intertwined. I mean, people don't. I mean, God.
Remember the Real World? This is the Real World, where they did video of like a real life interactions between. The first Real World was when, like, if you really want to talk about live action thing, is when the Lord said, okay, I need you to take care of and watch over, and you will bow down to the humans I made. To Lucifer, the light bearer. And he's like, oh, I'm not doing that. They're monkeys. I wouldn't do that. Father, this is a big battle between sons and fathers and wherever. But we have a question here, and I don't want to take it because we're getting close to some time here. Barry, welcome to the broadcast. Barry S. Anderson, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you being on the broadcast. Like, subscribe, give it away. It's a great Valentine's Day gift. Subscriptions are free. He says, why would dark entities bother small children? Have you heard demons pulling children down into dark caverns of the earth or abduct their consciousness and mentally torture them?
Yeah. From what I know of demonic possession, there seems to be a process. It starts with temptation, then infestation, then obsession, then possession. So, not everybody gets possessed, but I mean, you could, the demons could do a number on you. They could do some harm. I think they go after, for the most part, people that are vulnerable. That might be the addicted, the mentally ill. It might be children. So those are very vulnerable people that they could come after. Also, like in the case of the Schmerl family, I believe that they were had a target on their back because they were Christians, they were Catholic. So, there's different mechanisms. So you talk about the temptation from the demon. You talk about maybe having a target on your back. You talk about pathways, either Ouija boards, tarot cards, fortune tellers, seances, whatever, that may open up the door, the portal to something that you don't know anything about, that could take you into some darkness, some evil energies. So there's different ways that this thing could manifest, but with the children, I think it's because they are vulnerable, and they're just very easy to influence, and we've seen that a lot. But yeah, great question. Thank you, Barry.
That is a great question.
And you do talk about the pubescent girls.
Oh yeah,
or also
right. The side power, yeah. I talked about in the Schmerl haunting. Dawn Schmerl, she was 19 at the time, and she witnessed the collie, who was named Simon, being levitated and thrown across the room. And so, it was either demonic energies that were doing that, or she was hallucinating, and the best theory, and again, these are all theories because we don't know. The best theory is that she was manifesting psychokinetic energies. And Stephen King wrote about this in so many of his books, Firestarter, Carrie, The Shining. Young people, adolescents that had this the psi power, but they were mainly females, and they have this power, these energies, this angst. They're unable to control it, and so it sort of controls them. So they may do things like, levitate objects or whatever. But that's the theory. That's sort of a pretty good theory.
Again, going back to what I said, when it gets to vibrating at a higher frequency, between men and women are hemi-syncing these two parts of their brains always. And when you start hemi-syncing, and then you combine chemical changes from the teenage years into womanhood, they may be doing this unbeknownst to themselves. This also semi-proves what I said. We may be able to vibrate at a higher frequency and astral, travel without, like, levitate. We can go through walls. So there's part of that. But one of the things I know, Satanists and some of the evilest people on this planet, they usually target children, because children are the definition of innocence. It is the most innocent individual entity, and it's God's individual entity. And the best way, if you want to, the more innocent something is, the higher your brownie points in the reverse. So that's why they're targeting children. It's easy. And it also gives a big old FU to God.
And
you look at
where's the eyes of a child, and they're just filled with wonder and promise. I mean, it's the most beautiful thing. They have a nice life ahead of them. You would hope. So yeah, that's right. Yeah. So it's the personification of innocence.
And that was great. I bring it up, Mark, because I haven't gotten the book. I'm gonna say it right now. I'm one of those guys that loves autographed copies.
Okay.
So is there a way that someone can acquire one from you?
Yeah. I would say this to your listeners: support local, support your local bookstores, libraries, podcasters, and authors. Don't send your money to Amazon. You could, if you can, buy your books from the authors. You can get an autographed copy of any of my books through my website, www.maximfurek.com, and tell me what you want and how you want me to sign it. I'll be glad to sign it and send it to you. And we could talk about that, but be glad to do that, and we would make it for a pretty good price. So I have 9 books. I have The Lost Tribes of Bigfoot, Coal Region Hoodoo. I mean, but just jump on Amazon and read some of the reviews and see what you think. I mean, Coal Region Hoodoo has something like 75 reviews, which is great. If any of the listeners happen to buy any of my books, please put a review on Amazon.
Yes.
It's what we need. It's the holy grail. It just does something. It juices the algorithm and it's just good for us. It's good for Amazon, and so we get more.
Well,
We try to do that here too with the smash the like button and comment. It's great if you can subscribe. We're trying to grow the channel and get more people here. But you believe it or not, for my channel, for the channel we have, Mark and I, Third Eye Live, we really need you to press the like button, comment, and subscribe. And that, you don't understand, we need the hour watches, and there's so many other variables that you're not aware of. It doesn't, I always like and subscribe people's channels. May not always go to you guys, but I'm here to support you. And it helps in their algorithms, just like those reviews do. I'm definitely going to be contacting Max and getting myself a copy of probably the Bigfoot book. But
that's a good one.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm like I told you before initially, I've done the ghost hunting thing. I don't need to do more of that. I know enough of it, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm really into the cryptid side of things, because when you see something in the woods that it's like, no, man, this shouldn't exist, and your brain knows it shouldn't exist, but it's there right in front of you. I have more questions than answers with that.
Oh, great.
Just looking for other questions.
Max, you have some really interesting artwork. Who does your artwork? Is that you?
No,
AI?
my stepdaughter Heather did the nun, and it's pretty creepy. So
it's really creepy.
Yeah, I know, it's great. And also, just hang on. Where's my? Don't go away. Let me show you something else.
Mark, we're going to get you that for your birthday.
Okay. And for your enjoyment, this is what Annabelle looked like when I saw her July 11th in Gettysburg. Raggedy Ann doll, just like that.
Did you actually physically touch it, or were you allowed to?
No, you can't. No. Raggedy
it was just
Annabelle was in a wooden cage with a glass thing, and there were crosses all over it, and the Lord's Prayer was in the back, and it was infused with holy water and holy oil. And Father Bob was supposed to be there at all times. Well, when I was there on the 11th, Father Bob wasn't there. He was down in South America. Maybe, I'm not sure. He might have been with Chris McKennell, who is Ed and Lorraine's grandson, and he was down in South America. So maybe.
Father Bob is the guy behind Warriors of St. Michael. And he does a lot of that with the Warriors of St. Michael. They really like he's my first go-to.
Okay.
If anybody has a problem, like, you need to contact Father Bob.
Yeah.
And they usually handle it. It gets handled.
Yeah. So I wanted to meet him, but like I said, he wasn't there, so he was on some other business. But
maybe he knew something you didn't. It's like, no, I'm going to be out of there on that one. sometimes it's an opportunity. I definitely want to have you back on the broadcast because I want to ask more about your Bigfoot stuff. But I also want to know about I mean, come on, 60s rock and roll days. You've seen stuff that most of us only dream of.
Well, yeah, I mean,
yeah.
We can get a sneak peek of the connection between Black Sabbath and the Omen and The Exorcist.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, again, everything's the same. Everything fits. It slots in. I mean, even the vibrations, give or take a few clicks. We're in the same ballpark. I mean, just I mean, that's almost like my personal string theory, that everything's the same. And Dr. Frederick Santee, the White Witch, told me, he said that there's no difference between the supernatural and the scientific. It's all the same. We just don't know what the rules are. So that was his thing. So anyway, yes, definitely I want to come back. And if there's any kind of a paranormal conference in the Sunshine State, I'd like to be a part of that. And
what's Ed Herring? Who's the
Warren
singer? No, who's the singer? He's the Irish guy. Someone help me out. He has red hair.
From
like
from
or UK.
Yeah,
he's all the kids. Yeah. He literally looks like Damien.
Oh wow.
He looks like a combination of Damien and the kid in The Shining. Daddy's.
I'm sorry.
That. But I mean, one of my friends in they bought a house in Scarsdale, and they bought 2 properties. And they moved up to this house, and we're having this big barbecue. Great people, and a lot of people. We always watch movies, and I'm like, holy crap! You bought the Damien house. When I'm looking up, and I'm like, take a look. I'm waiting for their housekeeper to go, love you, Damien, and then start swinging from the trees.
Oh, God.
Ed Sheeran, thank you, Barry. I'm not a big fan. I don't actually. I mean, I write my own music and play music, and I don't steal from other people. So, for the most part, but Max, it's been absolutely fantastic you being here. If people want to get in contact with you besides your website, are there any other means?
Yeah, you could email me. It's jungle@epix.net. Jungle, JUNGLE @EPIX.net. Yeah, we could chat. And thank you so much. This is very good. Mark, always good to see you and your clones. And
Spunky.
Nice to finally meet you. And let's do this again.
It's a pleasure. I'm definitely we'll chat, if not later, but we can chat tomorrow or so the next day. I'll touch base with you about connecting, whatever you need from me.
Okay, very good. Okay, I'll send you an email. And
it's really cool. I got a book. We had her on Sin. She did a book about death, and she's like, she put it out there in a group I was in, like, anybody have stories? And I'm like, what do you need to know? And next thing you know, I'm from page 98, 93 to whatever, and I'm like, whatever. It's just helping out here and there. So whatever I can do to help out.
Yeah,
but
sure. We're close enough that I'm sure that we could get together for coffee or whatever. So we'll do that.
Yeah, I have no problem.
A Fanta and a Twinkie.
Fanta? No, I'm laying up.
Okay, how about a Fanta and a plethora of Twinkies?
A plethora of pinatas. The only thing I've been doing lately is these nerd juicies, and I'm trying to get rid of that because swimsuit season, and I want to look like freaking Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
But it's freezing down here. Please, everybody, stay safe. Get some supplies if you can tomorrow. Get extra water. You really need the water. And please be safe. We're going to have a great show next week. We have Miguel Ramirez on. He's Sasquatch Theory, one of the nicest guys I've ever met. And he has some great evidence out there. We're going to be talking Sasquatch before I headed out to Alabama and hook up at Greg Ogle's the Vanishing Conference. Mm-hmm. It's going to be an interesting event. It's going to be great. And come on, what can you do in this day and age for $17? You can't even get Starbucks.
Yeah. Right.
What are you going to do over the weekend? There's nothing else to look forward to. Let's go. Come out and get some voodoo hoodoo or whatever for your Valentine. You know, it's right around the corner. So, but I appreciate Mark for getting you on the show, Max. You have a key to the facilities, and you can come whenever you want. If you want to plug something, let us know. We'll even do special events. But I do appreciate your being here.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good night. Mark, stay safe with the snowstorm. I'll keep in my thoughts and prayers. And
Thank you.
And so will Annabelle.
Yeah. I have this image of Mark just like from the neck up, except for a hand exposed with his bird over there going, "Can somebody dig me out, please?"
It's scary. Yeah. God.
Yes, we have a treat for you in the next couple of weeks. Mark and I like to have fun.
Yeah.
So,
well, thanks everybody, and looking forward to the hookup with the gal from Newfoundland.
Yeah,
and,
I'll do it in a few minutes. But as we go out, if it wasn't for you, Max, and Mark, Eddy, but everybody in chat and all the new people, thank you very much. Like, subscribe, share, comment. It really helps us out. But if it was for you guys, we wouldn't be doing it. So this is how I always end it. And I'm never going to stop ending it this way, but we will get some Bigfoot fades songs on this show someplace, and we'll figure it out.
You, it's always been you. God showed me you. I have been searching decades for you. I found you, I lost you. My heart is broken without you. My soul aches for you. I need you, I want you. My days are filled with you. I've seen the future with you. My home is with you. I have felt the future with you. My nights are filled with you. Love is you. True love is you. My happiness is you. Every past life is with you. My dreams are filled with you. Life is meaningless without you. My future is with you. I will fight for you. I will defend you. I will give up my life for you. Whatever it takes for you. Nothing else matters but you. I love you. I love you. I love you. God showed me you. I have been searching decades for you. I found you, I lost you. My heart is broken without you. My soul aches for you. I need you, I want you. My days are filled with you. I have seen the future with you. My home is with you. I have felt the future with you. My nights are filled with you. Love is you, true love is you. Love is you, true love is you. My happiness is you. Every past life is with you. My dreams are filled with you. Life is meaningless without you. My future is with you. I will fight for you. I will defend you. I would give up my life for you. Whatever it takes for you. Nothing else matters but you. I love you. I love you. Life is meaningless without you. My future is with you.